The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, also known as the ACCC, has now fired back against Google and YouTube. Now, you might have watched the recent video that we made on this topic, which we'll link down below, where Google and YouTube came out with an open letter and some tweets discrediting a proposed new law that has been proposed here in Australia. The new law is focusing on three major points. Known as the News Media Bargaining Code, this new proposed law has one point which is seemingly mainly based around the algorithm, where large businesses and media organizations can request extra information from Google and YouTube as to how the algorithm works in the back end, which Google and YouTube claims will allow these media organizations to have an advantage over solo creators or smaller companies. The second point is around the large news and media organizations being able to bargain for better CPM or better rates on ads, which once again, your regular creators can't do on YouTube. And the third point is around allowing these companies to access more and deeper data than other people can. Now, the ACCC has fired back with its own official response to Google's open letter, and there's not too much information in this one whatsoever. It's really just no, no, and no. They simply don't agree with what Google has done. Now, Google is taking the Epic Games or the Fortnite approach very similarly to this, really airing out what they perceive to be dirty laundry and airing out and saying why they don't agree with these proposed terms, and pushing not only just everybody to take a look at it and to retweet it, but also to join in that open letter. And they've stated that they're going to be releasing other ways that their creators and fans alike can start to speak out more against this proposed Australian law. Looking at the open letter up here on screen right now, one of the most interesting lines I'd like to point out is where it says, word for word, "A healthy news media sector is essential to a well-functioning democracy." Now, an interesting counterpoint that I've seen on Twitter to this is the fact that how is it democratic, or how is it fair if only these large media organizations are allowed to have any of this access to extra data, access to the algorithm, or collective bargaining agreement to be able to get better CPM? Shouldn't that be something that's available to everyone? And I think if you look a little bit deeper into this as well, it's saying that maybe if this law is passed, it'll give that unfair advantage to the news media, but maybe everyone should have access to that. On the other side of things as well, the most concerning is probably for me point number 3, which is around extra access to the data, allowing these news media companies to know and learn more about the users that are watching and what products they like to use and how they consume Google and YouTube products. This is something that we've seen talked about with TikTok a lot recently, with some of the security concerns that have come out around that, around the data they track and how they use it. And it's obviously been a major concern for many years now, with companies like Facebook and Google now giving you the ability to actually see what data they store on you and to help to tighten up your privacy depending on what you are happy to have tracked and what would you like to keep private. So while the ACCC has responded here, there's not too much to report just now, but we'll be keeping very close tabs on the topic, so stay tuned and we'll be releasing much more information for you as easily to digest as we can.